Drunken Hat. Hello everybody, and welcome to Magic the Gathering Arena. Today I'm doing a very different kind of video, because I've gotten some requests for deck lists. So I figured I'd do an extra video to go over the deck, what it's trying to do, maybe some future adjustments, what the commander is, and maybe some suggestions for porting it over to Commander. And, as an added bonus, if you wish to take this wonderful list into battle for yourself, there will be a link in the description to most likely MTG Goldfish. I haven't fully decided, but it will be to this list in an easily exportable format. But let's get right into it. Starting off with the commander, God Eternal Bontu. He's a 5/6 menace for 5 mana. Not too bad just on the baseline stats. He's a pretty solid attacker. Because with the Menace, whenever he swings, he's going to kill probably one thing at least. But his enter ability is really where his power shines. Because when he enters the battlefield, you can sacrifice any number of other permanents. Tokens, lands, useless creatures. I mean, even your mana ramp as far when it gets later in the game. And then you draw that many cards. He is amazing for recovering your hand. Mostly, though, I wish he had green as well. Just because in a Golgari shell, if he was Golgari colors, he'd just be so good. But as he is, he's a pretty solid attacker, and he's got that awesome enter ability, which is made better by the fact that whenever he dies or is put into exile, you can put him into your library third from the top. So most likely he's dying on your opponent's turn. Usually. And then in 3 more turns, you draw him. If he dies on your turn, it's 4. Well, it is 3, but your opponent gets an extra turn in there. That's why it feels like 4. Or if you have any kind of card draw, like a Phyrexian Arena, why not? You'll just be able to get him in faster. Now, as for the deck itself, I kind of just went with a generic zombie, shell to put around him, because zombies like tokens recently. Specifically decayed tokens that are utterly useless in most situations, but they make pretty good Bontu food. I started off with, honestly, one of the first things that I put in here was Jadar, because he makes a free sackable zombie every turn. But then after I decided to go zombies, I put your shambling. Steward is probably a cut at some point, because it never feels like it does what you want with it. Admittedly, if you go turn 1 Steward, and then turn to, where is it? I think Ghoulish Procession. Turn to a Ghoulish Procession, you can immediately get a zombie replacement for it. It has decayed, so you have to be careful. But then that could feed something else. And any zombie, Champion of the Perished. Blood Chief's Thirst. I put this in every deck that has black. It is just one of the best kill spells in Arena. Admittedly, that's partially because I don't have access to better kill spells. And just as it is, Eaten Alive, because I also have this sacrifice thing going, I'm usually going to have fodder for it. Or, hey, late game, it's 1 more mana than, Eat to Extinction. And I think I'd rather have the option to play it for 1. The Festering, the Shamblings, they -1 when they die, just a little bit. Maybe you can get rid of their mana dork when it dies. Shambling Ghast is especially good because you get the treasure. There's not a whole lot of special tech to it. I'd just like to point out that Meat Hook Massacre, amazing for this kind of thing, because you're just gaining a bunch of, you're sacrificing a bunch of your stuff, so when you sack a bunch of creatures, boom. It's not so good as a wipe, just because of how hard it hits your board, because zombies are typically low toughness. It'll typically kill more of your stuff than your opponent's, but in a pinch, it's a good wipe. And remember, your commander always comes back, no matter where it goes. So, food for thought. I have Malefic Scythe, which I'm probably going to take out because while it can make things big, it just doesn't do anything. I've noticed. It can result in a pretty big zombie, but more often than not, you want to use that zombie for sacrifice fodder. Then obviously I'm running the Blood Artist, Bastion of Remembrance, where is he? Plus Sir Conrad. The standard aristocrats kind of setup. Just so every time I sacrifice one of my things, their things die. I got a little bit of snow with Priest of the Haunted Edge, a little bit of snow with Blood on the Snow. Just because it's cool. I don't know why it puts the double cards up here, just adding their total cost, but Never to Return, I feel, is better than Murder. I mean, obviously it's better than Murder. But I like the option to destroy Planeswalkers because in Brawl, your opponent having access to a Commander Planeswalker is very powerful. So having a 3-mana just, okay, no, you're not getting any more value off of that is very useful, especially in decks when you're facing off against like Bolas or maybe a Morton Kanan deck. With the more expensive Planeswalkers, basically. And then it's just got that nice little added bonus of you can make a token. I love Aftermath effects because they're basically free effects. You spend mana into them and you exile the card, but because you're not playing something from your hand, it's almost plus card. But that's basic shit. Then I run Nightmare Shepherd just so I can sack almost my entire board. You saw that in the video where I sacrificed everything, including my good stuff, and they all just came back as 1/1s because most of them, like Jedar, are 1/1s anyway. Or Blood Artist, he actually gets a buff from coming back as a 1/1. And as far as other things like Gravedigger, Ebon Death maybe not so much, but let's see, like Falcon Wrath Noble, all of your sort of aristocrats effects, being able to sacrifice them or have them die and then just having them come back is pretty good. Also because the tokens do die again. And you saw an honorable mention goes to Awaken the Erstwhile, which is just a ridiculous card. Each player pitches their hand and makes that many zombies. With Bontu, you can then sack all those zombies and get your hand back. So it's pretty neat. You'll take some in specifically Arena Brawl 1-on-1. You will take some damage from your opponent's zombies, just because, yeah. If you sacrifice all yours, but because you have Bontu and maybe a 1-drop, because you obviously play Bontu on turn 6. You potentially have some things to block with, and you won't die to those zombies. But yeah, that's just a cheeky little bit, because especially if you're against something that's really mana intensive, like a 5-color deck, if you make them drop their hand, they're top decking and they're like, well, this is a super major issue, when they were potentially going to summon their commander next turn. I run Liliana, obviously. Snow is okay. Dreadhound, I'm not sold on. Just because while it's another aristocrat effect, I don't often have 6 extra mana lying around. Because Bontu, you want to play really aggressive. You want to play hard and fast. So more often than not, you're pitching your lands to his effect just to draw more, because you want to constantly refill your hand. Aside from that, there's not much to say about it. I mean, I have the zombie, tribal, sort of, zombie. Let's see. I think it's Liliana's Mastery. Yeah, that's pretty good. Thoughts for what I would do to this deck if I were to improve it. I would definitely, absolutely definitely, cut the Malefic Scythe and maybe the Vecna, combo because it doesn't do anything. As cool as it is, it doesn't do anything. Like, this is really cool and can make you a big blocker, but I always just wanted to make Vecna, and I never do. But I'd probably cut that, and I definitely add in Village Rites. I believe there's a Liliana enchantment. I'm not sure if I have it. I don't think so. It's a 4-cost enchantment. You draw 4, lose 4, and then at the beginning of your upkeep or end stat, I think it's upkeep if you control 4 or more demons with different names, you win. Not for that, but for the draw 4, lose 4. And also probably Sign in Blood and those sort of things. You don't really need Search because while it's cool, there's no like big combo pieces. You're kind of just playing your zombies, getting card value, and trying to kill your opponent through aggro. Yeah, that's about all I have to say about this. Hopefully at some point there's something that will allow Bontu to gain green somehow. Maybe some weird, like, multicolor partner creature that gives another legendary creature partner. That'd be cool. Anyway, if you liked it, give it a like, a thumbs up. I greatly appreciate it. Helps out the channel. If you really liked it, go check out my channel because I upload. Go check out my channel because I upload Magic the Gathering content daily. Aside from that, I hope you enjoyed this. I'm going to try out a couple, see how they do, you know? It'll just be an extra video during the day. I might play a little catch-up because I'm going to do one for every deck I currently have. So I'll probably release a match video, and then later in the day do 1 or 2 deck list videos just to, you know, catch up. Thank you all for watching. Bye-bye.
Drunken Hat.